Right now, a quiet financial shift is underway. Trillions of dollars are looking for a new home. And for the first time in decades, the spotlight isn't on China or Europe or even the United States. It's on India. From Wall Street giants to Middle Eastern sovereign wealth funds, from tech manufacturers to global billionaires, everyone seems to be rushing in. But here's the real question. Why now? Why is the world's money suddenly flooding into India after years of being overlooked? The answer is a story of shifting power, hidden advantages, and a transformation that few saw coming. Section 1. A record-breaking inflow. In 2023, India pulled in nearly $80 billion in foreign direct investment. And it's not just portfolio investors buying stocks, it's long-term commitments. Blackstone, the world's largest private equity firm, has already invested over $60 billion in India, making it their single biggest market outside the US. Meanwhile, the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, Temasek, and GIC from Singapore are quietly becoming some of the largest stakeholders in Indian companies. Clearly, global money managers see something extraordinary here. But what exactly are they betting on? Section 2. The China Diversion. For 2 decades, the formula was simple. If you wanted growth, you went to China. But times have changed. The pandemic exposed the risks of over-reliance on one country. Add to that US-China tensions, supply chain disruptions, and rising labor costs, and suddenly investors need a China plus one strategy, and India has positioned itself perfectly. Apple plans to produce 25% of all iPhones in India by 2026. Foxconn has committed billions of dollars to new factories in Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Even Tesla is in talks to set up manufacturing. In short, the same story that once powered China's rise manufacturing, supply chains, and exports is now being rewritten in India. Section 3. The infrastructure transformation. But this shift isn't just about cheap labor. India is solving its biggest historical weakness, infrastructure. A decade ago, India's ports, roads, and airports were notorious bottlenecks. The country is laying 10,000 kilometers of highways every year. It's doubling the number of airports within a decade, and ports like Mundra now handle more cargo than entire countries like Australia or Brazil. The world is watching as India quietly builds the backbone of a global trade hub. This is exactly the kind of long-term bet investors love. Section 4, the digital superpower. But here's something that outsiders rarely grasp. India isn't just building physical infrastructure, it's building the world's most advanced digital economy. The unified payments interface has revolutionized transactions. In 2024 alone, it processed over 100 billion digital payments. That's more than Visa and MasterCard combined in India. And the kicker? It's almost free to use. For global companies, this means India isn't just a big consumer market, it's a frictionless, cashless economy with scale that no other country can match. It's why firms like Walmart invested $16 billion in Flipkart, and why Amazon has poured $6.5 billion into India despite intense competition. Section 5. The demographic edge. Now, let's add another layer, demographics. While most of the developed world is aging, India is getting younger. Over 65% of India's population is under the age of 35. Every month, 1 million Indians join the workforce. That's not just consumers, that's workers, engineers, creators, and entrepreneurs. This youthful energy is fueling India's startup boom. With over 110 unicorns, India now has the 3rd largest startup ecosystem in the world, behind only the US and China. For investors, that's a double win. A vast consumer base and a talent pool that can power the next generation of innovation. Section 6. Stability and reforms. Money doesn't just chase growth, it chases stability. And this is where India has surprised global investors. Over the last decade, reforms like the Goods and Services Tax (GST) have unified the market. The Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code has made it easier to resolve bad loans. And production-linked incentives (PI) are directly rewarding companies for making things in India. Meanwhile, political stability and a pro-business government have reassured foreign funds that their money will be protected. Compared to the uncertainty in China, Russia, or even parts of Europe, India suddenly looks like one of the safest emerging bets. Section 7. The big picture. So why is the world's money rushing into India right now? It's not a single reason, it's a perfect storm. The China Diversion, the infrastructure revolution, a world-leading digital economy, a young and skilled workforce, and a stability that investors trust. For decades, India was called the next big thing. But with global capital pouring in, with Apple, Amazon, Blackstone, and sovereign wealth funds making billion-dollar bets, that next has quietly turned into now. Outro. This is just the beginning of India's story as a financial superpower. Because the real question isn't why money is rushing in today. It's how much more will follow tomorrow. If you want to understand the business empires and decisions shaping Asia and the world, subscribe to Business Apac. We'll keep bringing you the stories that reveal where the future is headed.